Bill Williams. I want to thank you for taking the time to come out and do the escort. We really appreciate it. I think this is probably the biggest one you've ever had. I know with the one we did in Tilden and Verdigris, we're both big, but this is outstanding. So we appreciate it very much. What I wanted to do, because I don't know if everybody knows the history of how this all came about. My wife Yvonne and I read a story in the World Herald 2.5 years ago. Matthew Hansen wrote the story about Lonnie Ford, who lost his son Josh in Iraq in 2006. The story was about Lonnie's concern that his son would be forgotten. Yvonne and I read the story, came up with the idea to create an exhibit of the pictures of the fallen, but we didn't want it to sit in some museum somewhere, hoping one or two people now and again would stop by to see it. We wanted it to travel from town to town. So I'm proud to say that this first exhibit has been on the road every week since January 2nd of 2011. It is booked every week for the rest of this year, and we have it on a tour of high schools because we think it's very important for self-absorbed high school students to take a few minutes to think about the sacrifice of these men and women not much older than they are. As a sidebar story, our sponsor, Bellevue University, came to us 2 years ago and said, "We like what you do, we want to sponsor other states." So Yvonne and I quit our jobs. We do this full time now from home. We now have exhibits for Nebraska, Iowa, Missouri, Colorado, Arizona, North Dakota, Kansas, Wisconsin, Oklahoma, and 2 weeks ago we unveiled the Texas exhibit in Austin, and right now that Texas exhibit, I'm sad to say, the Nebraska one is 40 feet long, Texas is 200 feet long. Right now it's sitting at DFW Airport. Our goal is to create one for every state, and our next ones up are Georgia, and we got the go-ahead yesterday to start on California. California has lost 760 in Iraq and Afghanistan. So the ultimate goal here is to create one for every state, and then we'll have all of them travel the country in large arenas so people will come out and pay their respects. But it all started because of the World Herald story about Lonnie Ford. Thanks again, everybody. Bill?
That should go to the neighbor of the year. Will you be in this geographic area again?
Well, if a town's interested, I mean, there are, we haven't been to every town, we've been to a lot. If you look on our website, rememberingourfallen.org, if you look under archives, it's kind of neat because you can see all the places it's been all over the state. When it was at the Sydney Public Library out west, that was a year and a half ago probably in Sydney. They kept track. 1,600 people came through to see it out west. It's been to Chadron. I mean, it's just been pretty much everywhere. So,
are you in charge of all of these in the other states?
Yeah. What we do in the other states is we find an organization that we feel is trustworthy and has a good reputation. We loan it to them. For example, the North Dakota exhibit is loaned to the American Legion of North Dakota, which is outstanding. I mean, they have it booked all the time. Oklahoma is loaned to the Tommy Franks Museum. Colorado is the Center for American Values. Texas is Defenders of Freedom, and they're the folks that when all the troops came and went from DFW, there was all these people there to clap and wave flags. Well, that's Defenders of Freedom, so we loaned it to them because obviously we can't do this all from Omaha. So they're the folks that go out and find people to bring it in and contact Legion riders and do escorts, and so it's neat. It's really neat the way people have received the exhibits, and that is our mission, that they not be forgotten. So when you men and women take the time to come and do this, it means a lot. So we certainly appreciate it. Thanks, everybody.
1 minute, guys.